My name is Ryan Kern, the audio video technician here at Cabrini University. I first came to Cabrini about a year and a half ago. I originally started in the IT department because that was my background. I actually just replied to an ad. I had always wanted to work in higher education, and it was something that they came up. They said, we have an opening for an IT person here. And I thought, great, that's somewhere I'd like to end up. I worked in that position until there was an opening, and enough people knew that that's something I was good at, that was where my skills were, and they asked me if I'd be interested. My profession entails setting up, tearing down, planning out how audio visual is going to work at each of these events. The skills I found vital is absolutely understanding the equipment, the ability to multitask, to keep an inventory, because knowing what you have is always important. So the most important skills outside of just technical knowledge and listening and understanding and knowing what's going on is absolutely being able to manage resources. So if someone wants to set up an event but they want it to be live streamed to YouTube, then my responsibility then becomes, I'm going to set up the camera, I'm going to set up microphones, run them back to the soundboard to make sure the audio is good. Or if it's just a live event, they're going to be setting up speakers, they're going to be out in the field somewhere, we got to get power out to them. It's just a matter of understanding how to pull off what people want the event to be. The Arts and Research and Scholarship Symposium we just had, that was a really big one because this was the first year that we had to do something like this. They wanted a high flex setup with different breakout rooms that everyone could go to depending on which, major they were in. So we had to set up an entire virtual space just for people to basically, if they weren't here in sight or here on site, go to each of these rooms and get the same experience that somebody who was here in sight would get. So things are always changing, especially when you're in a technical field. So the industry as a whole changes year to year. I mentioned COVID, that was another big turning point. That's, again, you go from less live in-person events to more now everything needs to be online as well. And it's about adapting. You always have to adapt. So my long-term career goals is I really like to be in a situation where, maybe even beyond a university, I could continue setting up events like this, pull off larger scales, larger audiences. There's always a demand for entertainment. And I think that would be a good career path to continue following.